Everyone's talking about the action in Brand New Day, the swinging, the practical stunts, the Hulk. But the two scenes that have stayed with me for 3 viewings don't have a single punch in them. One is a man handing a teenager a cup of coffee. The other is a word on a sticker. Let me explain. Frank Castle, the scene starts as a joke. Frank walks in, Peter can't sleep, and he's offered coffee. And because the mask doesn't come off, Peter rolls it up just enough to get the cup underneath. Frank calls it the goofiest thing he's ever seen in his life. It's a genuinely funny beat. The whole theater laughed, but watch where the film takes it, because that joke isn't the destination, it's the door. Peter says the mask stays on for everyone. And Frank, who misses nothing, asks, even her? Peter deflects, says it's nothing, and Frank pushes. Who is she? You care about her, you're pretending not to. Why? And Peter gives him the answer he's been telling himself for months. He says he doesn't know who she is. He doesn't have anybody. He's like Frank, he just keeps to himself, P. And that is what sets Frank off, because Frank knows they are not the same. Not even close, Peter is choosing this. He's hiding from the people he loves, because he's terrified of what happens if he lets them back in. Every door in his life is closed from the inside, and he's the one holding it shut. Frank doesn't have a door. The people he loved are gone. There's nothing to open. And that's the line that guts you. When he tells Peter this isn't a lifestyle, it's a sentence, something he serves every single day, whether he wants to or not. If he had even 1 second where the people he loved were still breathing, he wouldn't be hiding behind anything. He's not lecturing Peter, he's warning him, because Frank is trying to make him understand that being lonely and having nothing left are 2 completely different things. Peter still has something. It's sitting right there, waiting for him to stop being afraid of it. And it is the exact thing Frank would give absolutely anything to have back. That's the joke's real job. It doesn't exist to make you laugh. It exists to lower your guard so the next 90 seconds can land properly. And they do, which brings me to Jean Grey. Now this is the biggest complaint I've seen. Why an X-Men character? Spider-Man has one of the greatest rogues galleries in comic book history. Why reach outside it? I get the argument. But let me flip it. What if Jean actually works better for this specific story than a traditional Spider-Man villain would have? First, some context. This was Destin Cretton's idea, not Marvel's, not Sony's. The director wanted her in this film. And once you understand what kind of movie he was making, it clicks. This is a grounded film about isolation and a mind coming apart. So you need an antagonist who can actually get inside that. Someone who can sense the mutation growing in him from across a city. Someone who looks past the suit and sees the thing Peter is desperately trying to suppress. A guy in a mechanical suit can't do that. He can only punch. But here's what I think most people are missing entirely. The real villain of this film isn't a person at all. It's the situation these two built out of a series of bad decisions. Peter's loneliness is destroying him. He's not being hunted, he's collapsing. And after he sees MJ with someone else, he ends up in a place dark enough that he genuinely considers ending it. That's how far this film is willing to go. Jean is tearing the city apart, looking for the sister damage control took. And she isn't enjoying a single second of it. She has convinced herself that this is the only route left to save someone she loves. Neither of them is evil. Both of them are drowning. 2 paths. Same wound. And eventually they collide. And no, Peter doesn't beat her with the power of friendship. I've seen that criticism and it's just not what happens. He reaches her by showing her that what she's done doesn't have to define who she is forever. She has done terrible things. The film never pretends otherwise. But the memory of Aunt May, the one Peter keeps reliving every time the mutation takes him, becomes the exact thing that pulls Jean's humanity back to the surface. The thing keeping him human saves her too. That's the whole movie in one image. And then Ventmax. I spent the entire film building theories, a weapon, alien tech, a serum, some damage control black project. It was a vent on the ceiling of the room where her sister was tortured to death, the last thing Sarah ever saw before she died. And she was so far gone by then that Ventmax was all she could manage to get out. She couldn't even form the full word because the sticker itself was peeling away. I don't know the last time a Spider-Man film landed a twist that quietly devastating. Brand New Day is a Peter Parker film to its core. Hulk, Punisher, Jean Grey, and not one of them pulls focus. Bernthal and Holland sharing a frame is everything I wanted and somehow more. Cretton made a film about grief, guilt, and the courage it takes to let people back in after you've spent years convincing yourself that everyone is safer without you. This isn't Peter becoming who he used to be. It's Peter accepting that life is gone and finding the courage to build a new one. A brand new day. Quite literally, drop a thumbs up, tell me in the comments what you actually thought. Full breakdown is coming. Notepad's already full.